Cafe Aroma Latino, it's a coffee shop, a grocery store that offers different foods from Latin America and as products of Latin America too.
How long did it take to go from this to, I guess, your end product of having the cafe all in order?
Well, it took a year.
It is not easy to say, I'm going to start my life in another country and start over, almost from zero.
If I didn't have that kind of small, homey business, I don't think so I will have that essence of, touching people. My name is Claudia Pinto, and here I am. My name is Claudia Pinto. I grew up in Guatemala, in the city. I think at that moment it was about 7 million people living in the city. We went to school down there, and at the same time, my mom had a business, a chicken business. So we used to work in the morning, and we used to go to school in the afternoon. Our family background, it's business and cooking. Because my grandmother was a cook. She used to cook for a factory. And my dad used to be a jeweler because my grandfather had a jewelry store. My mom didn't tell us how to cook. We just see her in the kitchen. And she said, well, hand me the onion or the salt, or go buy me something and all that. So that's how we learned how to cook.
Claudia's family immigrated from Guatemala to Canada at different times and for different reasons.
Political issues. My stepfather, my mom remarried in Guatemala, so he came to Canada first as a tourist, and then he applied here to be a political exile. We came as immigrants because a church from Fredericton was the one who sponsored us. So after 9 months that he was here in Canada, we came.
Despite leaving Guatemala at a young age, Claudia has never forgotten the colors of her homeland and represents them proudly through the artwork in her cafe.
The kids who paint the art, they didn't go to school, so it's a small village down in Guatemala called Santiago Atitlan. It's this village right here. Mayan people, related people, they're very creative. Not necessarily they have to go to school to be such a magical artist. Those are the things that I admire from people back home. I come from the tropics, colorful walls, the trees are always green, flowers everywhere, and you have sky buildings and all that. And when they say you're going to New Brunswick, in our minds was buildings, right? But when the plane landed, it was just trees and more trees. So I asked my mom, I said, do you think we took the right plane? I lived in Fredericton for 9 years. And I work in this Chinese restaurant, and they called May, and I started washing dishes. And then from there, she said, chop me this. And then I start chopping. And then she said, no, I don't want that. I want this square and all that. So she taught me how to chop vegetables. So that's how I developed the cooking sense. So I stayed with her for 5 years. But I had another 2 jobs besides that. I was cleaning a bar, and then that was when I started doing the banking. I became a CSR for one of the institutions here, and I had the 3 jobs.
While Fredericton had become a comfortable initial spot for Claudia, she wasn't ready to settle there permanently.
And I have a couple of my best friends that they wanted me to come and visit Halifax. My stepfather was an old-fashioned guy. So every time my friends invited me to come to Halifax, they always say no, right? So it was one time the opportunity came, and then I said, yes, I'm gonna go with you guys. And I remember I crossed this McDonald Bridge, and I saw those twin buildings that they were there, and I said, my God, this is a city. But it's just the sense. I felt it like home. And then 2 weeks later, I packed all my stuff from Fredericton, and I moved to Halifax.
Shortly after arriving in Halifax, Claudia sets her sights on higher education.
I applied for St. Mary's for global business. I started doing the courses, and then the bank knew that I was here, so they offered me a position here. So I decided to quit the university, just kept economics, and I started again with the bank. But then in the 90s, the computers came and took places from people, so they offered me a position in a calling center, and I hated that. I said, no, a calling center for me. So they let me go. So I don't know what am I going to do for work, right? They said, well, if you're a cook, the St. Mary's is asking for a grill cook, and that's where I started cooking.
We first met when I was actually at university. I took a part-time job in the kitchen. I clearly remember I was trying to cut some onions and peppers. Yeah, she realized that I would have cut my finger, so she gave me a little tutorial as to how to cut it properly. Then we became fast friends.
Claudia continued cooking at St. Mary's for several years, strengthening her craft and taking on more responsibility.
They changed me the position, but they didn't change my salary. So I told them, I said, well, you're taking me to making pizzas, to cook for 400 people in charge of supper. I think I deserve more money with it, right? But they told me it's because I didn't have my cooking papers. They couldn't increase my salary. So I said, okay, I'm going to go get my papers. I applied for the Red Seal. And I skipped the cooking school because I had so many hours already banked for cooking experience. So I went 3 years for 6 weeks at the time because it's condensed. 6 weeks is 1 year of cooking. So finally I got my Red Seal. You become a chef, but you already have the experience behind. Now I'm going to prepare the hamburger. As the access for the hamburger trilla, that's one of my own creations. It has the patacon that you see there, and then I'll put some cheese on top of the egg and then cover up.
After successfully receiving her Red Seal chef certification, Claudia decided to return to the classroom to pursue a path in business.
I decided to retrain myself. So I went for international business. In the middle of that, you need to have a project. So I decided to do my project in my business, in my coffee shop. Some people, they open the door and she said, well, what are you cooking? Because I'm just walking from half a block and I can smell it.
Claudia's niece Annabelle also moved to Fredericton and later joined her aunt in Halifax.
It has been a very, very, very long path for her and for my aunt who had graduated from St. Mary's University and also from NSCC was a really big thing for the family. And it only kind of showed us how we could succeed here in Canada.
She was very committed to become a big chef.
All right. Pickle vegetables in it. And then we spray chlorella. And then we spray that into it. and some yummy queso fresco, top of it. Okay, and the plate is all set to go.
I find that within our family, perseverance just doesn't really stop. We're kind of the type of individuals that when something is really entangled within our passion and our culture and kind of defines who we are, we don't stop until we make it a reality to put it out there for everyone else to see.
Claudia's perseverance and determination led her to opening Cafe Aroma Latino, where she could celebrate and share her culture with her community.
This is the coffee that we offer here at the cafe. It's organic. It is roasted here in Halifax.
I mean, there's the aromas, there's just how the beans are cultivated. There's just so much depth to coffee.
If you drink just a small cup of a really good coffee, you don't need to have that huge cup of coffee, right? From difference of quantity and quality.
It's a culture around coffee.
Cafe is because of the coffee, okay? The aroma is the smell, you know, or the smell of all the spices when you cook. Some people, they open the door and she say, well, what are you cooking? Because I'm just walking from half a block and I can smell it. And Latino is because for Latin American countries. So I cook for 6 different countries. It's one my home, Guatemala, El Salvador, Mexico, Colombia, Argentina. So, and I come up with new dishes that I invented myself with it. This is a chimichurri for the Colombian empanadas. I make it from scratch.
She has a very distinct taste in how she mixes the spices, and that I think is part of the Guatemalan tradition, but it's also part of what she has learned from other countries.
I put my love in my food, so it's one of the things that people here, they know and they taste it. The dishes that are in the menu, it's like there's some staples. I travel and I said, this is a staple from a specific country. Good afternoon, welcome to Cafe Aroma. So here's the menu. Okay, so if you need any questions or anything like that, just let me know, okay? I feel Halifax is my home, and then it's not just home from where I come from, but it complements each other. And that's how I come up with the dishes there. And we have a doblada, vegetarian, that's from Guatemala, and then the empanada from Argentina, that's potato.
I'm very particular when I eat Latino food. It's just derived from love, and then just like the simplest of ingredients that come from home. But the flavors and everything just kind of takes it over the top. Real authentic Latino food makes you just happy, I feel.
On top of showcasing her culture through her food, Claudia wanted her Latino roots to be expressed in every aspect of her business.
Well, the cafe itself, it's very lively, full of color. Because it's so authentic and it makes it very unique. So when you create that unique spot, you have like a niche, and that niche will always get people coming towards you.
I designed the dishes and the tables too. So I went home, and then I hired this guy to do my ceramics for the plates and cups here in Halifax. So you won't find any plates like that anywhere else. It was especially made for the cafe. I wanted it to be as authentic as I can. So the blue is a natural color of Guatemala. The tables are handmade, especially made for the cafe. I took the idea from Colombia, one of my trips, and then I said, will be a really fascinating have a table to complement the decorations of the cafe. I use some of the ingredients that are here on the table to prepare the dishes that I offer in the menu. This is the black beans. This is pumpkin seeds. This is red beans, orange lentils with pepper. And this is rosa de Jamaica, which is rose petals. And this is another pumpkin seeds.
The way she's made the tables, very unique. You know, who thinks about putting beans and all these different things in the table? You can actually see the ingredients that she uses.
Being at Claudia's Cafe feels like being in South America and being in Colombia. When I can eat the arepa huevo, when I see the colors, the vibrant colors that are in the restaurant.
Here there is a small section. The jewelry comes from Guatemala. It's handmade. It is a small community down there that they made it. It's not a big company. It's just small families that they will benefit from that. Yeah.
And the paintings, I noticed that there's a common theme.
You know why they always in the back? Okay, it's because their beliefs is the bags will protect their spirits. So if somebody will take a picture of them from their face, they're stolen their spirit. So their soul is gone, right? So that's why you see all the pictures around the cafe, they're from the back.
So today we're here on Agricola Street for Cafe Aroma Latino's 14th barbecue anniversary.
A lovely event with some good vibes and good people.
For the grocery store, I try to bring things that the other supermarkets, they don't have it, and they're hard to get them. Something unique, you know, because if I didn't have that kind of small homey business, I don't think so I will have that essence of, you know, touching people.
So how did you get the idea for the store?
If I had the products here, I don't have to find them and then wait for them to come. I can just grab them and then start cooking up there. And I was thinking about people that immigrated here too, that they miss home. So having something small, you know, bringing their hearts and say, oh my God, they have tostadas, or they have the abuelita chocolate, so we can make hot chocolate to remind us at home, right? So that was the idea, to come up with it and to have two businesses in one.
Claudia has found a way to represent both of her homes in the store by offering homemade Latin American products that include sourced Nova Scotia ingredients.
The reason why I'm producing my own sauces is because the farmers here, they started growing different peppers from like, you know, jalapenos, poblanos, and all that. So I wanted to include it into the mixture of the cultures, right? To be able to emphasize that we're growing not just in restaurants, but we're growing it agriculturally, right? So if I'm not busy in the cafe, I'm busy here producing salsas or, you know, arranging the inventory.
Claudia is always searching for new foods to introduce to Nova Scotians and more knowledge to serve her clientele better.
She's learning constantly and searching for new ideas.
But that one is really good for barbecues. Like if we have chicken wings, you toast it and all that, it's pretty spicy.
She does a remarkable work in terms of selecting good quality products and bringing the best of Latin America.
I like to know, like, you know, where it came from, because Canadian people like to ask questions, and I like to know the answers.
here on Agricola Street for Cafe Aroma Latino's 14th barbecue anniversary. So we have some charcoal barbecue going on with some tacos. We have a raffle going on in celebration. Then we're giving away some mini charcoal barbecues. And yeah, it's going to be a great, beautiful day here in Halifax. So we're really excited for it to get started.
My relation to Claudia, I'm her twin sister. I'm the oldest for 2 minutes. And what we're doing here is to share a little bit of the experience that we have traveling around, as people sometimes they don't have a chance to experiment that.
Today, my sister gave me a chance to decide what we're going to give to people for appreciation to support the Cafe Aroma Latino. So my idea went to make a homemade soap con one of the cafe recipes that Claudia made in the cafe.
Oh, it's been around?
Yes, he's my second brother as a family, yeah.
One of the best things about having this type of thing in the neighborhoods is really getting to know the people behind the business. There's a lot of story to tell, and that's why it's so important to celebrate these people, is because you get to know them more on a deeper level, and that's pretty much what North End is all about.
I think the biggest thing that my aunt did, just bring that taste of Latin community, but also that love and all that comes with being Latino here, and trying to give it to other people so they can also take it in, love the same.
Working 14 years, keeping that store open is amazing. It's hard work, very hard work.
Yes, it's going to be 14 years the last week of May. Clients keeps me going, you know, because they always say thank you.
Claudia is always trying to find new ways to share her passion and knowledge of food.
There are some products in the works, but I had to wait for 6 or 7 months to be able to say it's for sale. It's a food that you can, you know, you can still taste the 90% of their vitamins or protein online, but it will last longer. It's something novel to be able to apply that, to offer it to people.
So in the same way I could enjoy Nova Scotian seafood chowder, I know that that is not the only option, that I can also have my ajiaco. And that is the idea of belonging, that you have different options that include the ones that you grew up with.
Latinos are very based on love, and I would say myself that food is its own kind of love language.
I hit a niche that no one had it hit before. It's like a painter, right? They express themselves in their paintings. I express myself in my cooking, in my creations. My name is Claudia Pinto, and here I am.